Navigating Performative Masculinity. Essential guidelines on how to be a man in a world where societal constructs and cultural expectations exert significant influence over our identities and behaviors. The concept of masculinity stands as a focal point of ongoing scrutiny, debate, and evolution, rooted in historical and cultural contexts. The notion of masculinity encompasses a wide array of beliefs, values, and behaviors that society often associates with the male gender. From stoicism and strength to assertiveness and leadership, traditional ideals of manhood have long served as benchmarks against which men measure themselves and others. However, as society continues to evolve and challenge traditional gender norms, the concept of masculinity finds itself at a crossroads, subject to reevaluation and reinterpretation. In this study, we embark on a comprehensive exploration of performative masculinity, examining the ways in which individuals navigate and negotiate their identities within the framework of societal expectations and personal experiences. At the heart of our inquiry lies an acknowledgement of the multifaceted nature of masculinity. Far from being a monolithic construct, masculinity exists along a spectrum, encompassing a diverse range of expressions and experiences. From the rugged cowboy to the sensitive artist, from the corporate executive to the stay-at-home father, the landscape of masculinity is as varied and complex as the individuals who inhabit it. Central to our examination is the concept of performative masculinity, the notion that masculinity is not inherent but rather enacted through a series of behaviors, gestures, and expressions. Drawing upon the seminal work of sociologist Irving Goffman, we recognize that gender, like all social identities, is performed through a series of scripted behaviors that conform to societal expectations and norms. In this light, masculinity can be seen as a role that individuals perform, drawing upon a repertoire of actions and expressions to signal their adherence to cultural ideals of manhood. Yet, while performative masculinity provides a framework for understanding how gender is constructed and enacted, it also raises important questions about authenticity and agency. To what extent do individuals perform masculinity willingly? And to what extent are they compelled by societal pressures and expectations? How do personal experiences and identities intersect with broader cultural narratives of masculinity, shaping the ways in which individuals navigate their gendered identities? These questions lie at the heart of our investigation as we seek to unravel the complexities of performative masculinity in contemporary society. By exploring the ways in which individuals negotiate their gendered identities within the constraints of societal expectations, we aim to shed light on the challenges and opportunities inherent in redefining what it means to be a man in the modern world. Moreover, our study is guided by a commitment to inclusivity and intersectionality, recognizing that the experiences of masculinity are shaped not only by gender but also by race, class, sexuality, and other intersecting identities. By centering the voices and experiences of marginalized communities, we aim to challenge dominant narratives of masculinity and create space for a more diverse and inclusive understanding of what it means to be male. In undertaking this exploration, we are mindful of the broader social and cultural forces that shape our understandings of gender and masculinity. From media representations to institutional practices, from family dynamics to peer interactions, the messages we receive about masculinity are pervasive and multifaceted. By critically examining these influences and their impact on individuals' perceptions and experiences of masculinity, we can begin to chart a path toward a more equitable and inclusive society. In summary, our study seeks to unpack the complexities of performative masculinity in contemporary society, offering insights into the ways in which individuals navigate and negotiate their gendered identities within the framework of societal expectations and Personal experiences. By exploring the intersections of gender, identity, and culture, we aim to challenge traditional notions of masculinity and create space for a more diverse and inclusive understanding of what it means to be a man in the modern world. Through this exploration, we hope to contribute to ongoing efforts to foster greater empathy, understanding, and acceptance of diverse gender identities and expressions. Understanding performative masculinity. Performative masculinity refers to the ways in which individuals enact and embody culturally prescribed behaviors, attitudes, and characteristics associated with masculinity. From assertiveness to emotional stoicism, performative masculinity encompasses a wide spectrum of traits that are often reinforced by societal expectations and gender norms. It's important to recognize that performative masculinity is not inherent or fixed but rather socially constructed and context dependent. By understanding the performative nature of masculinity, individuals can critically examine and challenge traditional notions of manhood, paving the way for more authentic and inclusive expressions of gender identity. Breaking down stereotypes. Stereotypes surrounding masculinity abound, perpetuating narrow and limiting definitions of what it means to be a man. From the stoic provider to the macho tough guy, these stereotypes impose unrealistic expectations on individuals, leading to feelings of inadequacy and alienation. To navigate performative masculinity effectively, it's essential to break down these stereotypes and embrace a more diverse and inclusive understanding of manhood. Celebrate vulnerability, empathy, and emotional intelligence as essential components of masculinity, challenging the notion that strength is synonymous with stoicism and emotional detachment. Embracing vulnerability and emotional intelligence. Contrary to popular belief, vulnerability is not a sign of weakness but rather a demonstration of courage and authenticity. Embracing vulnerability allows individuals to connect more deeply with themselves and others, fostering empathy, compassion, and intimacy in relationships. Similarly, emotional intelligence, the ability to recognize, understand, and manage one's own emotions as well as those of others, is a fundamental aspect of performative masculinity. Cultivate emotional intelligence by practicing active listening, empathy, and self-reflection. Recognizing that emotional strength lies not in suppression but in expression and understanding. Redefining strength and resilience. Strength is often equated with physical prowess and dominance, perpetuating the myth that vulnerability and sensitivity are antithetical to masculinity. However, true strength encompasses a range of qualities, including resilience, adaptability, and integrity. Embrace vulnerability as a source of strength, acknowledging that it takes courage to confront and express one's emotions authentically. Moreover, cultivate resilience by embracing failure as a learning opportunity, maintaining a growth mindset, and seeking support from others when needed. By redefining strength and resilience beyond traditional norms, individuals can liberate themselves from the constraints of performative masculinity and embrace a more holistic and empowering vision of manhood, fostering healthy relationships and communication. Effective communication is essential for fostering healthy relationships and navigating performative masculinity. Break down barriers to communication by creating a safe and supportive environment where individuals feel comfortable expressing their thoughts, feelings, and concerns openly. Practice active listening, empathy, and validation, honoring the diverse experiences and perspectives of others. Additionally, challenge traditional power dynamics and gender roles within relationships, promoting equality, mutual respect, and collaboration. by prioritizing communication and emotional connection, individuals can cultivate meaningful and fulfilling relationships based on authenticity and mutual understanding. In our exploration of performative masculinity, we have delved into the complexities of gender identity, societal expectations, and personal experiences, shedding light on the multifaceted nature of what it means to be a man in contemporary society. Through a nuanced examination of performative masculinity, we have gained insights into the ways in which individuals navigate and negotiate their gendered identities within the framework of cultural norms and societal pressures. At the heart of our inquiry lies an acknowledgement of the fluidity and diversity of masculinity, no longer bound by rigid stereotypes and narrow definitions. Masculinity exists along a spectrum, encompassing a wide range of expressions, behaviors, and identities, from traditional ideals of stoicism and strength to more nuanced understandings of vulnerability and empathy. The landscape of masculinity is rich and varied, reflecting the diverse experiences and perspectives of men across different contexts and cultures. Central to our discussion has been the concept of performative masculinity, the idea that masculinity is not innate but rather enacted through a series of behaviors and expressions. Drawing upon sociological theories of gender performance, we have explored how individuals perform masculinity in ways that conform to or challenge societal expectations, navigating a complex terrain of identity and self-expression. Throughout our inquiry, we have encountered the tensions and contradictions inherent in performative masculinity. On the one hand, performative masculinity offers individuals a sense of belonging and validation, providing a framework through which they can affirm their gender identity and assert their place within society. On the other hand, performative masculinity can also be constraining, imposing narrow expectations and limiting expressions of selfhood. Indeed, the pressure to perform masculinity can have profound implications for individuals' mental health and well-being, from the stigma surrounding emotional vulnerability to the glorification of aggression and dominance. The messages we receive about masculinity can shape our perceptions of ourselves and others, influencing our behaviors and attitudes in subtle yet significant ways. Moreover, our exploration of performative masculinity has highlighted the importance of intersectionality, the recognition that gender intersects with other social identities such as race, class, and sexuality to shape individuals' experiences and perceptions of masculinity. By centering the voices and experiences of marginalized communities, we have challenged dominant narratives of masculinity and created space for a more inclusive and equitable understanding of gender identity. As we reflect on our journey, it becomes clear that redefining masculinity is not a solitary endeavor but a collective effort that requires collaboration, dialogue, and solidarity. By challenging traditional notions of masculinity and embracing a more expansive understanding of gender identity, we can create a world in which individuals are free to express themselves authentically and fully, without fear of judgment or discrimination. In conclusion, our exploration of performative masculinity has provided valuable insights into the complexities of gender identity and expression in contemporary society. By interrogating the ways in which individuals navigate and negotiate their gendered identities within the constraints of societal expectations, we have deepened our understanding of the diverse experiences and perspectives that shape masculinity. Moving forward, it is incumbent upon us to continue the work of challenging and redefining traditional notions of masculinity, creating space for individuals to express themselves authentically and fully. Through education, advocacy, and community building, we can foster a culture of empathy, understanding, and acceptance, where individuals of all genders are valued and respected for who they are. In doing so, we can build a more just and equitable society in which everyone, regardless of gender, is free to live their truth and pursue their dreams.